You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Weeds. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Weeds news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Weeds.
She was working in a bridal shop with flashing queens.
Amazing!
Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny.
What are you doing?
So over the bridge from Flushing to the Sheffield door, she was there to sell makeup, but the father saw more. She had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how she became the nanny.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? This is your boy DJ Jesse Janedy, and I'm sorry for that little introduction.
No,
but
you're not.
Before we started watching Weeds, the nanny was on, and David got really excited.
That's because everybody loves the nanny.
And literally every time we have turned
A
the TV
television
on.
on today.
we've seen the nanny. So I just felt
You felt compelled.
we needed to play that. But speaking of opening credits, well, before we get into that, guys, we're getting down on the charts.
I saw that.
iTunes. Go to the iTunes store, type in AfterBuzz TV Weeds, and hit subscribe. It's free. It's free.
You know you want to.
And you can't complain when it's free. It's free.
It's
No
true.
money. And just subscribe to us. We want to get up to the top podcast. Me and David, we've been doing this alone for a while now.
We have. Just you and me.
You and I. I don't know what song that is. But anyways, so yeah, iTunes.
That was a No Doubt song.
Oh yeah. Stitcher, STITCHER. It's an application for your phone. You can take me and David on the go and listen to us talk about all things weeds.
Sort of.
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes we
Most
talk
of the
about
time we talk about weeds.
we always segue it back.
We do. We
Just
do.
like this. We just had the nanny opening segue to the opening of tonight's episode of Weeds,
Mhm.
which is usually always right on.
Well, it has to do something with the actual episode.
Right. This one didn't.
Although maybe it did.
Maybe.
I just had a
Let's
thought.
try and think about it.
Okay.
It was
So
a bunch of owls.
It was like owl figurines.
Well, you know what I did think it could be? They were owls, but I feel like they were the Russian doll owls.
No, because one said salt and pepper.
Okay, so never mind. So owls.
Mastruyuskas. That's what they're called.
Oh, okay.
The Russian nesting dolls.
I thought you were yelling at me.
No.
So yeah, they had owls, and then the woman who was putting the owls up on the shelf
was whistling little boxes.
Yes. So we feel like Weeds and Showtime has been listening to us.
They are. I know they are.
And we told them we missed the theme song.
And they brought it back for us in a
They did.
whistle.
It's
But
very,
it helped, you know.
You know, it's very rare you get a theme song that is epic.
Like the nannies.
And the nannies is really epic. And Weeds just had that. It wasn't like the thing with the nanny was it was a song about the nanny.
Right.
Little Boxes has nothing to do with Weeds, but
It sort of did in the first few seasons when she was living in the suburbs and all the houses look the same in the suburbs, you know.
they're made of ticky-tacky.
And they're made of ticky-tacky, whatever the hell that is.
So what was your idea as to what the opening theme was?
Okay, so you know how it's owls
Right.
and Nancy is being watched.
Ooh.
That's what just came to mind.
Ooh. That's good. That's
Right?
really good.
Because owls watch,
well,
right?
she's being
They're
watched.
they're considered a wise animal.
Eyes wide open. They
Yeah,
can turn their head
got them
around.
big ass eyes. Their head turns all the way around 360
Whoa,
degrees.
you did not have to use the A word.
Sorry.
Trying to keep it clean here.
Oh, are we?
Unlike Segway Showtime
I know.
opening scene.
Racy.
Well, All right, so last
Made me
week,
very uncomfortable.
Nancy's prison. Nancy, remember when Nancy was a prison bitch?
You just told me to keep it clean, and you said prison bitch.
David, I was joking because it was a segue into the first scene.
Okay.
You know, we do not keep it like that.
We don't. We don't.
So
we try
anyways.
to. It's one of our commandments here at AfterBuzz.
Right.
It is commandment
No one cares.
number.
David, stop it. Stop trying to read it.
I'm
Anyway.
trying. It's the third one from the bottom. I'm going to tell you that. There's a
All right.
lot of them.
There you go. David can't count. If we've learned anything.
Not quickly. Not quickly.
All right, so beginning scene, Nancy. Last week, Nancy, her roommate from prison came back.
Her lover.
Her lover. Her Russian lover.
Her prison lover.
Comes back, and she's very upset to see Nancy on top of Dimitri's lap.
Yes, her brother, mind you.
It is her brother. Okay, right.
Yes.
And Dimitri kind of I felt like he thought it was funny, the whole situation.
He loved it.
He loved it. He was watching it. Really freaky. Anyways, the Russian bitch sends Dimitri to the back, and he's spying on the two of them. And all of a sudden, she grabs a knife and like brings it to Nancy's neck, and starts like rubbing her chest, and saying, "Who do you belong to?
Like all sexy, like
Who do you belong to?"
the weird accent.
I know.
What is that? That's not Russian. I can tell you that.
Who do you belong to?
Who do you belong to?
Anyways, really just
Wrong. Okay. It was. I don't mind.
Weeds has always been a little scandalous.
This was like
No, this episode was
racy. Okay.
Season 7 is about the skin, and they're trying to let it loose.
They are letting it all hang loose.
I didn't even introduce you.
You didn't. I'm
Ladies and
David
gentlemen.
Schifilliti.
You see the name right there on the bottom.
You do.
David
And if you
Schifilliti.
don't, because you're just listening and you're not watching,
It's David Schifilliti.
it's David Schifilliti.
Also, I'm in the booth.
That's Jesse Janedy.
That's right.
DJ.
DJ
Jesse Janedy. His
Um,
name explodes whenever you say it.
Whenever you say it. So you guys can also call in if you guys really liked last night's episode. Call us at 424-256-1729. Once again, that's
424-256-1729.
So, yeah. Nancy has to sleep with her
Well,
little...
Voila, what's her name? Voila? Viola?
I'm not even gonna lie. And just anything she said.
You didn't understand a word she said? Okay. Her name starts with a V. I'm going to call her Viola, even though that's the lead character in 12th Night. A Shakespeare play, for those of you out there who don't know what 12th Night is.
Well,
Viola,
if that's what you want to do.
if that's what you want to do, it is, goes down on Nancy, like has crazy scissoring with Nancy,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what we assume happens. And Dimitri watches it. He watches his sister have sex with Nancy.
And then proceeded to have sex with Nancy
Afterwards.
after. Yeah. Like,
We are family. Ooh, ooh.
run, I got my girl sister with me.
Mm.
All right.
I got
so,
my girl sister with me. That was clever. Good for you.
Moving on, Silas is mad because all of a sudden Andy is having like a photo shoot in his bike shop
Mm-hmm.
or in his Copenhagen wheel.
Well, he's getting free publicity in the style section of
Whatever.
some
that
magazine. I think it's an e-zine.
is. Sure. If that's what it is, then that's what
I
it
think
is.
that's what it is.
So yeah, he's there. Silas comes out upset because why do we have all these people coming in? We don't want publicity. The kid wants to start taking pictures of Silas.
I mean,
I felt for two reasons.
mm-hmm.
One, for advertising purposes. Two, because you're in this store with this creepy older man selling a wheel on a bike.
Mm-hmm.
And then this hot kid comes in.
Mm.
So yeah, he wanted some candy for his camera.
Who are you?
DJ Jesse Janedy.
It's
So
that
yeah,
time of
this
day,
is we're
y'all.
basically right now we're setting up all the plots for the story. Andy's really trying hard to get this bike to just be a respectable human being. That's
Yeah.
all Andy wants
That's
this
all
season.
Andy wants. All he wants to do is go legitimate.
It's funny because I guess we'll talk more about it in predictions, but I feel like everybody's splitting up. And the one person you wouldn't think that would be closest to Nancy is Silas.
Mm-hmm.
Usually Andy is up.
He's always
Nancy.
Team Nancy.
Shane is he wants to be Team Nancy, but he's starting to feel like, well, if you don't want me, then you don't gotta have me.
Well,
Which I'm really excited to talk about Shane.
yeah.
But before we get to Shane, well, no, let's jump into Shane because Shane's next week is gonna be a better week for Shane. But
Well, we'll see.
they set us up for what's gonna happen next week. Basically, Shane, of course, he's been hanging out with that detective dude, and
Mm-hmm.
they're sitting in the car at this school, and the detective gives him a box, a little present, and tells him to go give it to his stepson. And said all this really rude, inappropriate things about the stepson's father, which I understand you're going through it because you want to be this. You probably took care of this kid for his whole life.
Right.
But the point is, don't have another person do it. And I think that's what Shane was trying to say to him after the fact, because the stepson didn't want the present. I think that's what Shane was saying. Like, he'll realize his father was a douchebag, but when he is, just be there for him. That's all kids really want, is for you to be there for them. And to me, that's not really being there for them if you're asking somebody else to go give
You know,
a gift.
I can appreciate what Shane is saying, but because it's true, kids always want you to be there for them when they want you. But as a parent, looking at the flip side, I'm not a parent. Mind
You're
you.
not?
I don't have children. I think it's hard for parents to allow a child, stepchild or not, go through a rough time or have like feelings that they don't understand and don't want help, and it's hard for parents to let their children go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But
also at the same time, like, I agree with it on two levels. Because, one, it's they're probably remembering where they were, and now that they're older, because now that I'm older, I'm always like, oh, I wish I took that help. I wish I, did extra credit. I wish I stayed longer at school. I wish I could go back to high school.
Really?
I always say that.
really, high
Yeah.
school?
I wish I could, if I could redo high school again, Lord, Ryan Seacrest would be out of a job.
Really? Because if I could redo high school, I would have dropped out and gotten my GED.
Really?
Yeah. Like, full honesty, that's what would have happened.
Makes sense, quicker to the point.
Yeah. And I definitely would not have gone to college.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on.
What?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Gotta get us covered there.
Yes, no, it's true. High school and college it's not for everybody. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to say there are benefits to having finished high school and having finished college as well and graduated. And,
I'm with you.
there are benefits and, non-benefits.
You're saying for you personally.
For me personally.
You saw the yellow brick road a different way.
Correct. Now that I'm older.
Okay.
Okay. But
see, I would have stayed in college longer. Personally. Longer free ride, even though it wasn't free, and I'm so thankful I finally have paid off all my school loans.
oh, look at you. So fancy,
Yes.
debt-free.
Debt free. Well, I wouldn't say all that.
We'll just say
but when
that,
it comes to
okay.
Pace University,
Pace, you went to
I
Pace?
did. New York City, baby.
Look at you, Pace.
All right, so back to the show.
Back to the show.
But the point is,
I can see
Yeah.
both sides of the looking glass.
Right.
Okay, I understand that
But
the
if you are a
detective
parent
wants
going through
to
this-
wants to help his stepson, and his stepson is going through a weird time because he's a teenager.
Right. But and if you are a parent out there going through this, don't drink Listerine. It's not good for you.
And I don't think it's good for your liver.
No.
I don't think it's bad for you to have, like,
I mean,
you're rinsing out your mouth in the morning and you take a little sip of Listerine by accident. I think it's okay, but don't go chugging it.
Showtime has this thing with having their cast drink Listerine. Nurse Jackie was doing it. It's very popular on Showtime.
Oh yeah, Nurse Jackie
Yeah.
loves her some Listerine. That's because you can buy Listerine.
Don't give anybody ideas.
I'm
dude.
not.
All right. So, anyways,
I just caught myself.
thank you. So we go back to the woman's home, the halfway house, and
I was like, whose home? Okay.
the
I get it.
woman's home.
The woman's home. We go back to the halfway house.
And we saw, as we used to call her, Pocahontas.
Yes, Pocahontas.
Basically, Nancy's mentor, and she pulls Nancy over and she says, I was going to send you back to prison. I made the phone calls. I put your paperwork through, and I get a phone call that says, denied. And the thing that makes me upset about this, not me, she said, is the fact that you're always going to run the system. Sometimes I see people who come through here and I say they have a chance. And I wish I could say that about you. I thought that was really cool.
I don't really understand what she's talking about, though.
She was basically saying that she saw Nancy in this halfway house. And she probably sees, obviously she deals with everybody in the halfway house, but there's something different about Nancy. Nancy shouldn't be there. Nancy is smarter than that.
Mhm.
Nancy is it's like there's some people who are so smart they just put all their brain cells into something negative. And they're really good. I mean, like, this is so crazy to even compare it to this, but the Joker or any of the like bad guys who
The Joker.
I don't know why he just popped in my head. But like the evil villains, let's just put it like that. They work so hard at being evil because they're just really smart. They can do all these schemes and all these crazy diabolical plans. I don't know why the Joker came in.
I'm just thinking in my head, what did the Joker do that was awesome? Nothing except leave a calling card.
No, wasn't that the Riddler.
No, the Joker did the same thing, didn't he? No, I'm wrong. No, the Joker did in the first movie. The first Batman where Joker appeared, he left a playing card with the Joker on it.
Well, either or.
Either
The point is,
or.
Nancy is a smart woman. She's a good woman. She's just put her eggs in the wrong basket.
Right, she's focused all her energies in the wrong thing.
Right. And so this woman is recognizing that, and she's saying to her, you got to a point of redemption, and you didn't redeem yourself. You're going back, and that's why she said you're a lifer. And that's what she said I had to realize that. Nancy,
Get it.
I wrote down, what were your thoughts on what Nancy was feeling? And callers, we'd like to hear what you guys out there, the fans, have to say. You can give us a call. We're streaming live, 424-256-1729. What were your thoughts on that? What did you think?
Well,
'Cause
Nancy says
got a
she's
little
fine with
upset.
it. Nancy says she's fine with the way she is and that she doesn't want her help, the Pocahontas' help. And I put my head down to scribble something down on my notepad, so I didn't get to see her face when she said it, but you could tell by the intonation in her voice that she was upset by what this woman told her.
Well, because I think she was realizing.
Right, that she is a lifer. And she has made the wrong decision, and she is making the wrong decisions currently. And she realizes that she's messed up, but it's too late to turn back.
Sure was, as she's in the Doug's office copying the files for the FCC. But we end up finding out that she copied the wrong files.
Right, which I don't... She goes to the FCC, gives him the files, and is like, here, is this what you wanted? And he's like, no, I guess you're going back to prison.
Right.
Why is it like all of a sudden she has a timeline of how long she has to get him the files?
Right. I didn't get that plot point at all. With
Right? That didn't make much sense to
No.
me. Like, why she goes to give him the
Like,
files, and he's
okay,
like, no,
they're the-
these are the wrong ones. Okay, go back and get the right ones.
Right.
Not,
Well, he basically
These are
says,
wrong.
we
Okay.
need the CEO's files. You're not even on the same level as anybody who'd be able to access them.
right.
That's where I think he was saying, like, you're basically useless to us. So Nancy, being the little vixen she is, says, well, I might be able to get them from the CEO.
Mm-hmm. Thinking she's going to use her feminine wiles.
Oh my gosh, this episode was so... It just, like, kept... It was like...
A lot happened.
It was literally just digging and digging and digging until you're at the bottom. You're like, oh shit, I cannot get out of this hole. That's what this episode was. So Nancy says, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna go on a date with the guy from the I'm gonna go on a date with the CEO. Flashback to,
Flash forward.
well, not flashback or flash forward, just flash over.
Cut to.
I wanted a flash because the
Okay.
cut's just so direct. I want it to like,
You know, just swoop.
yeah. Silas is in Andy's Copenhagen wheel shop.
The bike shop.
Well, last time I called it a
I
bike shop,
know.
you bugged out at me for
Because
calling
it's
it a
not
bike
a
shop.
bike shop. It's the Copenhagen Wheel Store.
All right. Well, so last time we were at the Copenhagen wheel store.
Thank you.
It really pimped out, huh?
I know.
They got
There's DJs. They've got customers in the background. Like, it looks like a lot of customers.
Serving beverages. Like,
I know.
This place is just like the in spot.
I know. And the appearance of the lovely and talented Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yes, Michelle Trachtenberg and the previous. Oh gosh, you remembered his name last week. The drug dealer that Nancy.
That's because they said it last week.
True. I want to say it's like Ben or something along.
It's
those-
not.
No, it's not. I just said I want to say his name is Ben.
It's like a Chad.
What? Come on.
Kevin? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. How did you go from Chad to Kevin? Anyways.
They're both white boy names.
Well.
If the shoe fits.
Shake it. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Segue into Michelle Trachtenberg and the drug dealer
Uh-huh.
shaking Silas down, basically threatening him.
Shaking him down. They literally
That's what he
grabbed
said.
him and they shook him.
They said, we're coming down to shake,
Yeah.
give you a shakedown.
Yeah.
So my thing is, well, what can you really do?
I know that's where I don't. That plot line for me is a little flawed, unless they are the messengers of someone else who's higher up.
And they like do like a drive-by or
Yeah, something
'cause
like
cops
that.
can't get involved.
Cops
like-
can't get involved. No, of course not. I mean, but he wants his old customers back.
Mhm.
And he works under his own cover business, which is a bouncy house business, but they call it Pouncy House because they bring the potty favors. That's exactly what they
Yes, it is.
said. Okay.
So yeah.
So
they
if they're running their own cover business and they're also dealing drugs, just like Silas is doing with Nancy,
I don't-
what are
yeah.
they gonna like? Why would he be so intimidated by these people?
No idea. And like Silas like really looked scared.
He did, and I don't know why.
Me either. Well, I guess we'll find out within the next coming
I guess we'll
episodes.
see.
All right. So Nancy goes on a date with the CEO.
And she gets wired.
Yes. With this like ugly frock thing that she's wearing.
Because she had to cover the battery pack that they put in the back.
But why would you cover it with an open like? you
Well,
could
she
see
needed like a
through it.
jacket or something, and this lady happened to have her first crocheting attempt with alpaca wool yarn.
Well, you go, girl.
You go, girl.
So Nancy said she wanted to go on a date someplace really expensive with where they serve endangered animals.
Yes.
I don't really get that.
Oh, she's just saying that she wants to go somewhere nice and expensive.
Okay.
I mean, they don't.
But they were
You're not
eating in
gonna
the
go
kitchen.
somewhere where they're gonna serve you manatee.
Well, it's better than whatever he said.
You gave him rice.
and moon rat or whatever type of animal, Mongol or whatever. Point is,
Okay.
first of all, there was literally
Okay.
first of all, there was nothing on that plate.
Nothing.
I'd be like, who are you feeding? What the hell is this? I would eat yours and mine.
And then
I would
for
ask
more.
for a basket of bread. Like, excuse
Can
me.
I get some bread and some olive oil, please?
So yeah, they're sitting in the kitchen.
It's nice to sit in the kitchen.
What? It's hot. There's people running around. I do not want to sit in the kitchen.
Whenever you see a TV show or a movie and the guy like wants to impress the girl, he always sits in the kitchen because that means he knows the chef.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that would not impress me. So whoever's taking me out on a date.
Don't sit him in the kitchen, okay? He wants to be front and center.
No, and it's really funny because I've honestly never seen it anywhere before. Anybody do that? But the first time I did, actually, I went to.
Like in real life?
Yeah, in real life, I
Okay.
went to. Even on TV, I haven't seen that.
No, it happens on TV and in movies all the time.
Oh, so name one. Pull it out your ass. Where?
Sex in the City.
Never watched it. I've seen it before, but I've never seen that episode.
Well,
one
you need to
episode.
rewatch it, okay?
But no, I did go to. There's a popular restaurant out here in L.A. and they take you on a tour as you're walking through the restaurant, and the main seat. There's one seat that's in the kitchen, and I'm like I said, it's hot. There's too many. I don't like being eating where people are walking by me or. That's
what
like
restaurant is this?
I don't want to like promote.
Okay, so you'll tell me later.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. And then I'll tweet about it. I don't have a Twitter, so I won't.
But I do at DJ Jesse J on Twitter. Anyways, no. So she goes on a date with the CEO. She's trying to get him to like spill some important deets,
if you will.
but he doesn't want to talk about work. And she realized, oh, I'm not going to get anything out of this. I think she really thought, I'm not going to get anything out of this. I'm going to have to fuck him to get something.
I mean, I think she will have to do that to get anything out of him.
I don't think she'll
Information-wise,
have to. I think she will.
she wants to. I think she wants to.
Even though I really think she likes Dimitri out of all this.
I don't think so.
No?
She's only having sex with him for weed.
But Silas has all the weed now.
But if you remember in this scene that is playing on the screen right now,
Dimitri brought back the weed.
brought weed.
That was the weed that she...
Asked for from Afghanistan.
Oh, that was it.
Yes.
Okay.
And she doesn't want Celia's weed because she doesn't want to be involved with Celia.
Correctamungo. So Nancy goes in the bathroom, pours water all over her mic, and that crazy woman comes running in like, I knew something was wrong, and basically gives her another mic. Nancy and the CEO go home. They
go back to Nancy's place.
He walks her back to the house. Silas, pushes him back in the elevator and closes the gate and brings Nancy back in. The CEO puts his foot there, stops the elevator from going down, and follows Nancy into the house. Which is like, excuse me?
I know. Get out. Nobody invited you in.
Nobody invited you in. Even if there wasn't any drugs involved in this, like my son is here.
I know. I don't know why he felt the need to come into the house and introduce himself and be like, we work together. You can call me Chuck.
Right. You work together, so we'll see you on Monday.
Okay, I'll see you later. Nice to meet you. Get out of my house.
And
I don't know why. Did he? Oh, no. He must have not known. I was going to say, if Silas knew that Dimitri was there, why didn't he urge to get him out of the house?
Silas did know Dimitri was there.
Well, then why didn't he push him out of the house the minute he came back in? I guess nobody knows that she was wearing a wire.
No, nobody. No. So, this is where, like I said, just dig in the hole, and now you're down too far, and you're like, oh shit, I can't get out of here.
Everybody shows up at the house.
Literally everybody.
Chuck is there.
Dimitri's
there with a suitcase full of weed, basically. Viola, his Russian sister, shows up.
And they're all talking about how they're business partners.
And they're selling
How much they're
weed
gonna
and
sell.
how much they're gonna sell it for.
And not even
Do
just
you
like
smoke. Let's sample
weed
it.
from here, that they've been smuggling it from Afghanistan.
Like- And she's wearing a wire.
And Nancy's doing everything, playing
my
classical
God.
music, hiding in the fridge.
This scene really bothered me.
I liked it, but it made me so uncomfortable.
No,
which is
I
what it
did
was supposed
not-
to do.
It didn't make me uncomfortable, and I did not like the scene.
Why didn't you like it?
It seems like to me like a scene that they would put on a sitcom or like on a primetime show during sweeps to get more viewers, and it's like, look at the wackiness on Weeds.
What? Why do you feel like that?
Because it just seems very contrived. It doesn't seem like something that you would normally see on Weeds.
That's
And it seems
true,
like it's
because
very forced. Like they put her in a situation where she's going to get caught by somebody by having her wear a wire, and then Viola shows up and Dimitri's there and Chuck won't leave, and like everybody's talking about weed and selling it and smoking it. And
Well, all right. Do you have anything else
You know
to
what I
talk
mean?
about? Because I need to jump. We need to jump into predictions from this scene. So before we do, was there anything in the episode you wanted to touch on before we go to a commercial break?
just that I love Michelle Trachtenberg.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna head to a commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna give you our predictions for next week, which I think, as great of an episode this was, I think this was a setup for next week's.
That's what you said about last week, but okay.
And it did set us up for this week, but the thing that disappointed me about this episode is all the drama was at the end.
Yeah.
It took too long to build up. I think next week's going to be a big bang, and I got a big prediction for you, Mr. Schifilliti.
Oh, did you write it down?
Oh,
Because I don't want you to forget about it.
I won't.
Okay.
It's engraved.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be right back.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out. That wig.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Little boxes.
I was like, what is this song?
All right, so welcome back, guys.
Who performed this version?
This is Melvina
Little box.
Reynolds.
Oh, the original?
The original.
Little boxes made of ticky.
No, normally we go into a predictions bumper, but we're gonna let her take us into predictions.
I like it.
So I'll do Rich's. And now, AfterBuzz TV predictions. All right, so basically that was we ended with a really
look just the same.
a hot mess of a scene at the end. Nancy's with all these people. Here's where I think the setup is gonna go, and I'm glad this. The reason why I'm glad this happened the way it did is because now I know where they're trying to go with this season.
Okay. Tell me.
Did that come in your head at all with
Nope,
this?
not at all.
All right.
Tell me
so
what you're
here's
thinking,
what I'm thinking.
because I'd like to go into Jesse World.
Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So here's what's going down in the town.
Okay.
We have the Russian girl, Viola.
Mm-hmm.
Now she made a deal
To get out of
to
prison.
get out of prison.
Yes.
She's becoming a business partner
With Nancy
with Nancy, but also tied to Dimitri.
and Silas.
No. Silas is. You have to.
Okay,
Welcome
I'm
to my
following
world.
you. I'm following you.
Wait, let's think of this legally.
Okay, so we've
Because
got.
here's where Shane. Well, first of all, let me tell you what next week they showed us, because Shane's going to be tied into this.
There's so much to
Next week.
My head's gonna explode.
So relax, woosah. All right, so next week, Shane basically wants to partner with Nancy.
Right.
Nancy does not know what's going down with Shane. She knows he's involved with detectives and whatnot. That scares her. She don't play that. But he's saying, hey, you're messing with the wrong son. I'm the smart one. You gotta fox with me.
Right, and he's on the ends. Like,
Right.
he's with the cops so he can keep them off her trail.
Absolutely. So,
Which is probably the smarter son to be.
here's where I'm going with
Okay.
this.
Okay. Tell me.
Here's where we can plot everybody.
Okay.
Dmitri and his Russian sister working together.
Yes, with Nancy.
That's a huge drug bust. No, forget Nancy.
Okay. So just
This
Dmitri.
is Nancy is teamed with the FCC right now.
Right. Okay.
And she's going to be meeting with the DEA. So she can make another deal.
Ah.
So she can break down 2, 3. She can give the DEA 3 different cases right here.
Pouncy House.
Pouncy House, thank you. Thank you for thinking, David.
You're welcome.
Pouncy House. Number 2, Dmitri and the Russian sister.
Uh-huh.
And number 3, the CEO of this company.
Ah.
Now,
Okay.
Nancy's in there shitting her pants because she feels she's going to be outed by the FCC, outed by one of these guys that she's screwing both of them, and her Russian lover's going to be upset. She's nervous that the CEO is going to find out that, oh, now she's a drug dealer, and you see where I live, and you see that I have a Russian lover, and just everything about Nancy is being outed right now.
2 Russian lovers.
Right. So what I'm thinking is going to happen,
Uh-huh.
because the FCC said, no, we're calling the DEA. So Nancy is the baller. Nancy knows, like she said, she's a lifer. She plays the deals. I believe she's going to offer to set everybody up, but she has to play her cards right.
Yeah.
Meaning, she has to go for Dmitri and the sister first. You have to get them out of there. It's going to cut your weed supply down, but you're going to have to team with Silas. And I think this is where Shane's going to start thinking. Because once they're out of the picture, then you can, get yourself romantically involved with the CEO.
Right.
And get the files you need.
Right. For the FCC.
For the FCC. So now you're pleasing the DEA and the FCC.
But if the FCC goes to the DEA, there's no way the DEA is going to let her off scot-free.
They have before.
That's true, I guess.
They got her out for murder. So
That's
I'm just saying.
true.
Now, also next week, Michelle Trachtenberg and Silas have a little talk.
Have a
And
little lunch date.
I'm wondering where they're going to bring this. This is what I don't know how she's going to come into play, because we all know that she's going to go against Nancy.
Right. So unless your theory is incorrect.
Okay, which it probably is.
It might be. We'll see. We'll see. And they bust Pouncy House. Shane helps Nancy bust Pouncy House, get them off the map. Then Michelle Trachtenberg teams up with Silas, and Nancy stays with Dmitri and his sister.
I just think they need to get rid of the whole Russian thing.
I mean, it would make things a lot less complicated.
Not even complicated. It's just messy, right?
And that's what I'm saying. Everything's like all over the place.
Like the woman walked in there like Silas was her son.
I know. Everything's all over the place. That's why I felt like my head was going to explode.
And
Because
where's
there's
the lawyer?
too many characters.
And where's the lawyer?
What lawyer?
Martin Short.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What about her son?
What about her son?
There's too much going on this season. There is literally so much is happening in this season that it's a little overwhelming for me.
Again, guys, we're sitting here, we're wondering, will there be another season?
And then the nanny comes on.
And the nanny is back on TV. On that
Just
note,
so you know. Will there be another season?
I don't know. I surely hope so.
I do too, but we'll see.
Like I said, I want one more season. Then they can take it off, do as they wish. But I need that one more season.
I don't know if you're going to get it.
Why would you say that, David?
It's the truth.
Very good team.
We are a good team.
All right, guys. David, always a pleasure.
The pleasure's mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Feel free to subscribe to us on iTunes. iTunes Store, AfterBuzz TV Weeds.
Tell your
hit
friends.
Subscribe. Tell your friends. Find us on Facebook, AfterBuzz TV. Find us on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. And stay tuned because tonight at 8 o'clock, if you're a fan of the A-List New York, we have a special guest joining us.
And if you're a fan of Pretty Little Liars,
join us at 9 o'clock.
Join us at 9 o'clock.
And we'll be dishing all the scoop. So until next Tuesday, peace.
Bye.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.